Can't physically get my thumbs to that point. So let's have a look how we went. Wow, cut the size, nice. A little bit of room. So that's pretty much how the sled's going to look. And what you do, I mean, somebody's asked me, one of my friends in South Australia, a very dear friend of mine, crazy woman, what the hell is a sled for? So you put your piece of timber in there, you hold it, it's perfectly square with a saw, and you just move the whole thing across the saw table, and you cut perfectly square every time. That's what I'm making, to take some of the mistake factor out of what I build. Okay. So I guess the next thing is to turn it over, mark my lines. First of all, we need to know how thick this is. I'm thinking it's 30 millimeters. I'll get my marker, move the vacuum cleaner. There's a couple of ways you can do this. I'm going to set this to 30 millimeters. That's inch, that's millimeters. This is another find that I got at a market, at a garage sale. It's a beautifully made piece of gear. It's all brass in here, and that's your fine tune adjustment there, which still works beautifully. And you can see the gap opening up there. Okay, so you can just fine tune this thing. Once that's locked on, you just fine tune it. All it does is put a little dimple in there. You can just see that mark. So I'm going to set him for. Let's move it around. Let's get that back in there. Beautiful piece of gear. I don't know how old this is, but it is graduated here on top. You can't hardly see them. So I'm going to use my tape measure and give myself 30 mil. Actually, what I'm looking for is 15 mil. A little bit of play in the tape there. It's about 1 mil in that tape. So I'm taking that into account. So I'm going to go for 15 mil on the dot. Lock him up, double check. 15 mil, beautiful. Just remember, what I might do is I might mark, where's my pencil? I might mark, and I've got a pencil in here. Just so it's easier for you to see the steel rule there. Just set that up at 15 millimeters. Yep. I am going to get a pencil, so this is going to be the front, and this is going to be the back. So, and this is the top, and this is the bottom. I do this because I'm a novice. Really, yeah. The way I've self-taught how to use these things, and I can't see a thing. So over a couple of times. It's not very straight. Yep. That'll do. See, it's not very straight. Can't see. I'll do the pencil line in here because it doesn't really matter. You watch how wobbly my pencil line is. Can you see that? Not very straight at all. But it's pretty close. Not good enough for a machinist, but it's pretty close. It's a bit wobbly here. So, probably not my most favourite tool. It's probably why they've pretty much gone away with these things, but I really love it anyway. It's made nicely. So while I'm there, I might as well do this one. setting that up front and back. But what I'll do is I'll try and get this as square as I possibly can for this whole project. What I'll do is I'll use this. I've got my centre line marked there. You see, I'll use another square for this. Just save myself a little bit of work later on, because that's why I marked that centre line there. And I've got a little bit of everything hanging over the side here. I've got a little bit of room, I've got a little bit of this, a little bit of that, because I'm not very good at this just yet. But I hope to be one day. And with your support, I might just get there. Just checking, haven't moved it. Moved it just a little bit by the looks. Smack on there, beautiful. Just checking, yep. Happy. One thing I've learned about woodwork, the more clamps you have, it's almost like he who has the most clamps wins. You've got to have good clamps, good square tools, and patience. Patience, you know that old thing, patience is a virtue. Well, it's true. Alright, so that's the front. We know that's the front, so I'm going to spin this over now. I'm going to put a clamp on that so I don't lose where I am. And it's time to drill a couple of holes. I'm not going to glue this because I might want to move it later on. A couple of holes. There you go. So I'll probably put one screw in there and one screw on the extremities. Okay. So I'm going to do some pilot holes first. Because I'm going to be using 8 gauge by 40 mil. The other thing I might do is just mark my 30 mil. Probably going over the top, probably don't need to spend this much time on this, but because I'm only learning, I know no other way. Once again, let the drill do the work. Now there's a couple of methods I could use to countersink this, but my favourite method is going to be to use my countersink piece here. Just to give them a nice countersink. Now, see what I've done there? I've missed the hole altogether. How clever was that? So now I've got to try and chase that back. Smack. I'll just put the drill on an angle, find a hole and slowly bring it across, and danger averted. But that is the hole that I'm going to be moving. Nice and gentle. Probably a bit deep, but I don't mind.